Is it time to fertilize your garden beds? What is the best pre-emergent for weed control? And how do I deal with Creeping Charlie? I've got answers to these questions and more coming up on Garden Sense. Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone who made February a record month for all of us over at rosensonline.com. Now, I know the weather may have had a lot to do with it, but it's so wonderful to see customers watching this program, sending in their questions, and obviously going to rosensonline.com and making purchases. We couldn't do this program without your support, and believe me, each and every order means a lot to a small business like ours, so thank you very much. Now folks, we did get a bunch of emails last week, so we've gone ahead and picked 4 for this week's program, so buckle up everybody, let's jump right in. The first question is from Robert. Tim, when should we plan on fertilizing our garden beds? March, once and done? We typically use Garden Trust. So let me start off by saying that I'm really glad you're using Garden Trust because in my humble opinion, it's the best slow release fertilizer on the market. It's the only fertilizer that I use for my garden beds and the success that I've had with it has been amazing. So I'm really glad to hear that you're an avid Garden Trust customer. Now, in terms of when to fertilize your beds, I'll be real frank with you. There's a lot of variables that go into when you should do this. For example, are you planting anything new or are you simply looking to fertilize your existing beds? Now, if you are planting something new, I would actually hold off on fertilizing until you actually get those plants in the soil. And again, you didn't specify what type of garden it is. Is it more shrub-based? Is it more flower-based? Again, and depending on the types of shrubs or the flowers you have and when they bloom, it kind of depends a little bit on when you want to fertilize. Now, is it okay to fertilize in March? Absolutely. And given the unusually warm weather that we've been having, I know we've been getting a lot of emails from people saying, hey, my garden is starting to bud up, things are starting to get green. It's okay to fertilize right now. You're not going to hurt anything. In fact, by fertilizing in March, you may be able to get down another application of Garden Trust in that June, July timeframe. But again, I'll be real honest with you, it's going to vary on where you live and the type of plants that you have growing in your garden. So I can't give you any specifics, but I will say this, you're not hurting anything by putting Garden Trust down now, especially if you're already starting to see buds and some of those plants in your garden starting to grow. The second question is from James. Tim, I have a variety of weeds scattered throughout my yard. What pre-emergent weed product can I use and when should it be applied? I always use Turf Trust. When it comes to pre-emergent weed control, there are 2 products we recommend, and we recommend that you put them both down in the springtime. The first is Turf Trust Broadleaf Weed Control with Gallery. Again, that's going to target your broadleaf weeds. And the second is Turf Trust Crabgrass Control with Dimension, and that's going to target your grassy weeds. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's a little bit of crossover in terms of the number of weeds that they'll help prevent. But again, broadleaf weed control with Gallery is designed for broadleafs, and your Dimension product from Turf Trust is really designed for those grassy weeds. Now, in terms of timing, you're really going to want to put that broadleaf weed control down right about now, and then you're going to want to wait a couple of weeks and get Dimension down a little bit later, say late March, early April. Now, I understand that the timetable may need to be accelerated a little bit, specifically on Dimension, simply because of the warm temperatures that we're experiencing. But both products are highly effective, and you're going to want to get them down real soon. Now, fortunately for you, both of those products are actually part of our Turf Trust Triple Play promotion that we have going on right now over at rosensonline.com. So head over there now and take advantage of the savings. Now, speaking of weeds, this next email that we got actually deals with Creeping Charlie, and it's our Weed of the Week. This question comes from Rick. Hi Tim, last summer I had a spot area infestation of Creeping Charlie on several areas of my lawn. What can I do and when to attack this problem early. So Creeping Charlie and I had a pretty epic battle a couple of years ago, and I'm proud to say that I emerged victorious. So let me walk you through the best way to control and to kill it. All right, so in terms of control, you want to use turf truss broadleaf weed control with Gallery. I just talked about it in the previous question, and it's a great way to help control Creeping Charlie. So putting it down now is great, and if you have not overseeded, putting it down again in the late fall, again, is a great way to help kind of keep it under control. However, it's not going to do anything in terms of killing it. Now, here's the bad news, and again, I kind of learned this the hard way. This was something that was told to me, and I didn't believe it. But again, I finally wised up, listened to my mentors on the subject, and actually found it to be really successful. It's actually much easier to kill and control Creeping Charlie when you hold off on attempting to spray it down with an herbicide until May or June, and then actually do a follow-up application in September. Again, I understand that knee-jerk reaction because I lived it for years, where you see that Creeping Charlie and you want to spray it as early as you can in the springtime to help prevent it from spreading. But inevitably, it continued to spread. And I did some more research on just kind of the biological structure of the plant. And it actually is significantly easier to kill when it's really truly growing at its kind of peak maturity in that May-June time frame, and then put down a second application of an herbicide in September. And the reason for the September application is because at that point, Creeping Charlie is trying to take in as much sun and as much nutrition as possible and store it in the roots. And so by putting down that second application of an herbicide, it's actually going to take in that herbicide into the roots, and it's going to kill it and be much more effective. So again, that May-June time frame, and then again at September, and you want to sandwich those two applications with Gallery right now, and then Gallery again late September, early October. Now, in terms of the product that I use and had the most success with, it was actually Bonide's Weed Beater Ultra. And believe me, I've tried a number of different weed control products on my lawn over the last 10 plus years. Weed Beater Ultra is definitely the one that works most effectively. So head over to rosensonline.com, pick up some Weed Beater Ultra, but again, just sit on it until that May-June time frame and then put it down. You should see that stuff start to dry up pretty quickly. I'm talking in a couple of days, but then again, you may not get it all. And that's again why a second application in that September timeframe should really help knock it out. Bookended with, again, that Gallery application. And within a year, you should have it pretty much under control and eradicated from your lawn. And I'll be honest with you, that was my personal experience. So good luck. And the final question for today is from Tom. Tim, I overseeded last fall for the first time in a few years. Is it safe to start to follow your lawn calendar and to start dropping some turf truss in a few weeks? Thanks for the email, Tom. And the answer to your question is yes. If you overseeded in the fall, it's definitely been long enough that grass has had plenty of time to safely germinate, take root, and start to grow, where you can start following our lawn calendar, specifically putting down Gallery now and Dimension in a couple of weeks. So you can absolutely start following every aspect of the lawn calendar, and you can treat your lawn like it's an established lawn at this point. Now, inevitably, I'm going to get a bunch of emails right after this, and people are going to ask me where they can find the lawn calendar. Well, if you head over to rosensonline.com, and you look up at the main navigation menu, you'll see a button conveniently labeled Lawn Calendar. When you click on that, it's actually going to take you to a page where we have broken it out, the products out by month or months that we recommend you put down now. And it's real convenient because you can actually simply add them right there to your cart for an easy checkout process. However, if you don't want to keep going back to the website, there's actually a little link there where you can actually click on, and a PDF will open up, and it's actually a printable lawn calendar. So you can actually open up that PDF and actually print it out, put it on your fridge, put it on your desk, wherever you want to keep your lawn and garden information. So again, it's a simple 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, but again, You can go and find all the information that you need right over on rosensonline.com. And we hope you guys really follow that. I promise you that if you follow our lawn calendar to a T, you're going to have the best looking lawn in your neighborhood. All right, folks, just a couple final thoughts. As I mentioned earlier in the program, the Turf Trust Triple Play is currently going on over at rosensonline.com. So head over there and take advantage of the savings. Again, we have bundled the 3 products that you need right now and in the coming weeks, which is the Turf Trust fertilizers, the Turf Trust broadleaf weed control with Gallery, and Turf Trust crabgrass control with Dimension. So we've bundled all these products together. You're going to save on the cost of the product, and it qualifies for free shipping. So head over to rosensonline.com and take advantage of our Turf Trust Triple Play today. Now, we have started to get a bunch of emails about people who are starting the overseeding process. Now, folks, I'm not going to go through that whole process right now. I've told you guys many times before, it's always better to overseed in the fall if you can, but I understand stuff happens. You need to do it in the springtime. Your lawn looks terrible. You really need to fill in some bare spots. I totally get it, totally understand, no judgment. However, please make sure that if you are overseeding now, you are, 1, keeping it really, really well watered, and number 2, please put down Kickstart. Kickstart is a product that we talk about a ton on this program. We sell a ton of it over at rosensonline.com, and we do that because it works. Look, it is a root enhancer. Okay, so when you're putting in new sod, you're putting down grass seed, and you need those roots to really get established, Kickstart is the go-to product in the industry. So head over to rosensonline.com, pick up a couple of bottles, and get them down as quickly as possible. It's completely organic. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Folks, thanks so much for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it. And as I said at the top of the show, it really means a lot to us, each and every order that comes through, because that form of support means a lot to a small business like ours. Now, again, if you have questions and you would like to either get your question out here on the program to share with the world, or if you just want to get my opinion on what you're kind of experiencing and get some help, make sure you send an email to me directly. Send it to tim@rosensonline.com. Give me about 48 hours. I'll be real honest with you. It's a real busy time of year, so it may be a little bit longer, but I do my best, and I promise you that if I receive the email, you will get a response from me. Folks, I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. God bless.